Let's fight. It's Friday night, guys. Wherever you're joining us from, rock and come in. Let's fight, let's fight, let's fight, let's fight. You're going to want to stay to the end of the program this evening. Yep, we got Keisha Gustav, and she wants justice for her 6-year-old son, Jeremiah. Justice for Jeremiah. I think she should have it. You're going to want to hear what she had to say and why she wants justice for her son. A good evening to each and every one of you. It's Friday night, folks. It's a fight night. Even though it's the end of the week, we're fired up at our end and we are ready to go. And if you all know our broadcast, okay then. If you all know our broadcast, this is what's happening now. If you all know the broadcast, good folks, you all know where we're going next. Good to have each and every one of you on the live. Now the magic of quote unquote television. Good to have each and every one of you on the live. As we have said, good folks, if you all know where we're going, you know we're going to the opener. You know we're going to the opener. We're going to pull it back one more time. Those of you who are now joining us from all those special places you're joining us from, Elderly Gilbert, Colleen Solomon, Leon Logan, Deborah Pearson, Tracy Clark, good to see you there. Sharon Griffith, good to have you. Wenda, Colleen and Angela Jordan. I see Miss Percival is here, Drew Percival, and I see Sandra. Sandra's here too. Sandra Ford is here. Sandra said, up. Pretty Militia, we see you as well, folks. The opener, we didn't show you everything last night when we went to Linden. There is a particular area that we visited in Linden, folks, and we think you ought to know about it. A particular place that we stopped in, took a look at, folks. Yep. As we were there on the Wisma side. On the Wisma side, you know, there's a lot of roads not being kept up to standard. Share the live as you come on. Smash that emoji button for us as we try to find our way in our own notes, folks. As we try to find a way in the notes, share the live for us. Smash that emoji button, good folks, wherever you're joining us from. Yep. It's the opener. Let's take it back to Linden, good folks. What we didn't show you last evening. Yep, more poor roads and poor drainage. The opener. The opener.
Deputy Mayor, we're yet at another site here in Linden. Tell us where we are and what's happening with the state of this road here.
So we're here with this is the connecting road from Half Mile in Green Valley. Again, was called by residents to come and take a look at this road. This road, again, neglect by the government. They came approximately 2 months ago, did put some, allocate some crush and run. The residents asked, when are they going to pave it? They keep asking, when are we going to get paved the entire road? Yet, as of today, no response. The contractor up and left. I wanted to also bring to your attention too. The contractor came, and this is road that have existing drains. So now we're finding the roads that have drains, they're not paving it. This is something we find within the community. Again, I don't know if it's because of Linden Sherrod or it's because, I don't know what's the reason for this. Secondly, they noticed that they have a drain up above. The contractor caused the drain to collapse. Now it's causing flood in the community. Now we're asking the ministry to ensure that if you're going to allocate these contracts, let whoever is doing the clerk work, whoever is doing the checks on these work, ensure that their checks is done properly. Now you have an existing drain here that approximately the drain about 15 years old. The contractor came, I meant to understand, he came with his roller and caused the drain to collapse. Again, poorly done road, collapsed drain. This is caused by who? This government is not a caring government to the residents of Linden, Sharon. Now the residents this area experienced tremendous flooding. Now we're asking now, are they going to come and asphalt this road, or this is what Linden people result to? Crush and run. First we had the portion road and this was given by the people now, portion road. The people from West Virginia, this portion road. Now we're here, this is the unfinished road. This unfinished road. How could you come now? How could you come do a road? Put some crush on, and this is not an industrial road. This is a community road, Sharon. This is a community road. And they did not, and they're not even inclined. Nobody seems to budge. The residents came out, asked them, are you guys gonna finish? They said they don't know. The contractor promised to come back. Obviously, He upped all his machinery and he left.
And this is, as you said, this is an incline.
Yes.
It's a hill. This is Crusher Run. So
Yes.
traction here is going to be a major concern with safety of vehicles, safety of persons who live close by here.
Of course.
You know, pedestrians using this road here.
Of course. Hopefully, all the residents are asking for, if you're going to do something, do it properly. That is all they want. Do it properly. They're asking for it to be properly done.
We're on the border here of Green Valley and I believe Half Mile, where Pinhead Corner extends. In all fairness, I am seeing that there is proper drainage here. May need some additional work and improvement in terms of the walls and so on, because they've been around for the past couple of years. But I'm noticing as well that there are some areas that have been clogged. There are CDCs that are supposed to be executing some of these maintenance work. I was just speaking with a resident. He informed me that a lot of garbage has built up in certain areas here along the road. And so it is the role of the municipality, the executing arm, and even those SIP workers and CDC workers that are given millions of dollars throughout the year to do maintenance work here. While the road is being executed by Public Works, one would agree that those CDCs should have been activated with the millions of dollars that they are receiving, and should have done maintenance work on the drainage, the clearing of the drains, that is. And so I call on those CDCs. I know many of them have become politicized. They are taking political instructions. But to those who are living in this area, please put your community first. We have to lead by example. And so there is no reason why this section here that is clogged should not have been properly cleared by now, so that the water can channel across the road and end up to the Demerara River. As it relates to the Crusher Run and the tar that has been sprinkled on this road for over 3 months now, that has not been acted on, by the time contractors come with the asphalt to lay it, it will create an issue where you will have uneven path. You're seeing erosion occurring there already because it's the rainy season, and because of the clogged drains and the drain that collapsed as a result of the contractor running a piece of equipment on it. Of course, it will cause the integrity of the subsurface of the road to quickly become compromised. And so we're asking that work be expeditiously done to bring relief to the people living here in the Half Mile Green Valley area. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Yep. So that was the opener, folks. A look story here now. So that's Linden, of course, and you know that's not a big stronghold for the PPP. Look what happened in Friesland just today. This is Region 3. Let me say it all for you. Friesland had a protest today, believe it or not, over some of the very issues you saw there in Region 10. Bad infrastructure and the likes. Take a look.
Okay. You live in a nice road, you don't got to come through the solution. We got to be back there, we got to come through. Next year election. Vote next year. Hold on. Next year election. Yeah. I'm at the police building. Mana na wali pa movie? Ni pa dapat address I have something to cry bad for you. Family cry tears. I moved down to a stone. No, I can always tell you to go you are never do this.
Yep, so that was Bridesland in Region 3 today. Within the hour, Bishop Juan Edgel, Minister of Public Works, was on the ground there within the hour. I think those folks, the good folks of Half Mile, Green Valley area, who've been trying to get that road fixed there for months, they might have been saying the wrong things. Because the people in Bridesland, they were saying election is next year. Within the hour, Minister Juan Edgel was on the ground. A contractor was hired on the spot. Edgelson road fixing now. Not next year. Edgelson road fixing now. So folks, what don't do in a year is do in a day in this country. Edgel said to the people of Bridesland, the road do it now. Who fixing? Who sharing the live? Who fixing we live? Who sharing it, folks? Who gonna smash that emoji button for us at this end so we can continue to share the valuable and credible information? When they're not in there, then you're growing in a suit and tie. You must know what's going on in Bridesland there, Region 3. So maybe, just maybe, good folks, the people of Half Mile, Green Valley area, with that bad road for months there in Linden. Perhaps they've been singing the wrong tune. That's why the road ain't done now. That's why the shoulders caving in, the drains collapsing, and all of that. The folks in Bridesland said, election coming next year. That's all they said. Within the hour. When I just pick up the pace, contractor hire on spot. Road start today. That being said, good folks, we got some other things to show you. Before we come into the 592 flush, we got a couple other things to show you. Look what's happening close by. I think we start with, this is Brazil. Animal health emergency. Brazil tells us a case of Newcastle disease detected on a poultry farm. One case, Brazil says it's an animal health emergency. You know, half the cats in this country have to die before we get anywhere close there. Half have to die. Brazil says it's an animal health emergency. Newcastle disease detected on a poultry farm there. Northern Brazil, I think it is. Then as we are not, look what else we're following as we're in the region. This is Venezuela. You know, the US and them had a pact. They're going to try to be as democratic as possible. The jailing opposition members and all of that. You know, the jail, the leader of the opposition quite recently, security chief for the leader of the opposition. And now they're telling us the layout of the electoral system, the layout of voting day. It's been done in a very confusing, deliberately confusing way in an effort to suppress the vote. That's what they're telling us from Brazil. It is deliberately been done in a tremendously confusing way to kerfuffle, to kerfuffleation. The folks there, Americans watching, I think the Americans give us a stamp of rigged. Give us a stamp of set piece. That's what's happening next door, folks, in Venezuela. Right next door, our western neighbor. Oh, we're coming geography right there. We come into 592, and we can tell you in a moment or two that Keisha Gustav wants justice for her son, Jeremiah, 6 years old. We coming in there. We coming down to that side. We coming down. That's the big fight. Later on, we get up to round 8. That's the big fight. You all know once we come into 592. What obtains, folks? It's quite a few things loading. It's quite a few things loading. Yeah. And one of the things, leader of the opposition, leader of the People's National Congress Reform, Mr. Aubrey Norton, he says, you see, it's this education business here and corruption in the Ghana police force that is causing a lot of accidents on the roadways. And here is how he came to that nexus. Take a look and take a listen. One of the stories loading.
The spate of road accidents may be the result of a decline in the education system and corruption in the Ghana police force, says opposition leader Aubrey Norton.
The government response to date has not inspired any public confidence. This is a national crisis that requires urgent and robust government responses. Safety audits must be conducted on our major roads like Essequibo Coast Road, West Coast and West Bank Demerara roads, Linden Susdike Highway, East Coast Road, and the Quarantine Highway.
The audit would be able to allow for the present crisis to be targeted in a data-driven manner.
The corruption in the police force is at its highest level. It is now being made manifest because people are being exposed at a high level. But there has always been the toleration of that corruption because those at the top want to be corrupt. One of the things you can do is to develop a police force that you pay a proper salary.
He said that a decent police force would ensure that people pass their driving tests in a proper way.
This whole thing about the people you find on the road is very much linked to corruption in the wider society, especially police corruption. And I think you also need to recognize, Adam, that we have to rectify the education system to solve some of the problems. We have said before that one of our key focus will be on primary education, in which we seek to ensure that by the time a child meets grade 4 or 5, grade 3 and 4, that child could read, write, count, comprehend.
He said that the reality is that the education system is failing.
And a lot of the young drivers you see on the road are a product of that system. Additionally, we have arrived at a point where the top of the society is so corrupt and do things so wrong that the average man now comes to accept that wrong is the norm, and that affects the behavior on the road.
He said that he doesn't believe that there are too many vehicles on the roads. The absence of an infrastructural plan also contributes to the road accidents.
Which idiot will build a road coming from Grove, Diamond, to Sheriff Street, knowing that there are a set of villages along the road in which people gotta go in and out and not do overfly, so that the people coming from the villages don't have to stop. They can come onto the main road and go in. And the people on the main road don't have to stop because they are flying over the village.
He said that the present situation demands the presence of a number of policemen on the roads, attending to direct traffic and the movement of people. He said that the roads are still being made with a 2-ton weight capacity when much larger trucks are being imported.
I saw people rightfully protesting over the West Demerara. If you live in Diamond or you pass through Diamond, which I do regularly now because it's a good route on your way to Linden, the roads that are being built are being destroyed by the big trucks. But the tendency is to blame the big trucks. But I have been saying that this government continues to build road for 2-ton trucks when they are much larger trucks. And since they have no plan, the roads they are building will broke up for the want of a Guyanese thing because they haven't changed the specification and building them in a way that they can take the trucks that are now operative in the society.
Yep. That's one of the stories that loading good, folks. Which idiot? Leader of the opposition had me there. Which idiot? Just one of those things we're looking at today. In last same press conference this morning with the leader of the opposition, he spoke of this whole issue of the cost of living. You know, I listened to Mr. Jagdio, Vice President Mr. Jagdio, a couple press conferences ago, and this whole issue of the cost of living and his claim and how they have reduced that, the impact and the burden of the cost of living. And when he was finished, I thought graphmatics would be much easier. Astronomy definitely would be much easier in trying to comprehend what he was talking about there. Now, Mr. Norton took exception. And that this morning in that press conference saying that BJ, big head, far from reality. Take a look, take a listen.
Opposition leader Aubrey Norton has said that Vice President Bharat Jagdeo has to be far removed from reality. Commenting on Jagdeo's reaction to the high cost of living, Norton said that Jagdeo sees any criticism of the government's stated cost of living efforts as biased.
Jagdeo's attempt to dismiss the daily hardships of ordinary Guyanese are directly due to him and his party's heartlessness for the plight of the vast majority of citizens across all regions and ethnic groups, and the fact that they live an elitist life and not in touch with the sufferings of the people of Guyana.
Norton recommended that Jagdeo visit the homes of ordinary citizens.
Struggling Guyanese, including those who voted for the PPP, must reflect on Jagdeo's continued rejection of high cost of living and poor living standards as their daily reality. They will most likely conclude, if they haven't already, that under the PPP government, life in Guyana is a burden that will not get better once it remains in office.
He said that the reliance of the PPP on large expenditures on infrastructure is simply to create false hopes. Jagdeo's comments about Guyana being subjected to free market policies exposes indifference, Norton said.
There is no free market in Guyana. The economics of Guyanese society is dominated and controlled in large measure by the PPP. Just check the allocation of over $666 billion, which are allocated to the PPP elite, their families, friends, and favorites through infrastructure, and you will see that the people of Guyana do not benefit.
There is enough in the economy for the government to provide relief to parents who struggle to maintain their children in school.
It will be an incentive for those children who can't afford it to see the need to go to school. So it has more than one effect. It will help the parents, it will bring down the cost of living, it will, assuming we reduce the corruption, give children a nutritious meal. There are many children who cannot get to school. I was in the Pomeroon, and every parent that spoke complained about the cost to get their children by boat to school. One child at the time was costing $1,000 per day.
Yep, that's what Mr. Norton said there. Cost of living, folks, is affecting all of us every single day. And you know, you're only stifling your conscience if you don't think things are raising in the supermarket every single day. And we got the mechanism, we clearly got the money. You have to cushion some of that impact on the people. Pace and power, nonetheless, folks, as we move on. Pace and power. Congrats, both Guyana and the UK. Oh, we're celebrating a great many years together. Yep, quite a few years, folks. And in that time, you know, the trade between Guyana and Great Britain keeps going up, They say now it's at a fever pitch. If the numbers are to be believed, $1.6 billion over the last year or so in foreign trade, this private sector trade between the two countries. Yep. GT, OPG, and the United Kingdom. Yeah, believe it or not, folks, had a big celebration last evening, a lot of dancing, cake eating. I want to love the president lock and chat last night. What do you folks think? Did he lock and check there at this function there, the British ambassador's residence? Did he lock and check? Heaven Faith, Diane and Andrew, Shireen, Dolly and Abira. What do you guys think? Did it happen, folks? Did it go down? You're going to 411. Do let us know. Do let us know. That would have been a very bad state of affairs. Foreign trade might have started dipping at that point. Might have started dipping, folks. Private sector trade. Take a dip, sir. That being said, folks, we're moving on. We're moving on. Hastening on, folks, because Keisha Gustav wants justice for 6-year-old Jeremiah, trying to live their life peacefully in Charleston, like most of the citizens there. Then people come and interfere with them. And that's one of the things that's sad in this country, you know. Among the other things, when you talk's a good talk, but walking the walk is something totally different. Have we learned as yet why Prima left Vindia? People don't leave companies, you know, ministries. It's people that's left. You ever left a company because you say, oh, this company bad for you. It's the people that's getting vexed inside done with this nonsense. Prema Rup Narayan walked away from Vindia Prasad. Immediate effect. Prema said, tired of y'all. I'm tired of you, Vindi. The whole pack of y'all here. And make a mites now. Prema Rup Narayan make a beeline to this day. We don't know particularly, what was it? What was the straw that broke the camel's back? We don't know. Vindia talks a good talk. But the proof of the pudding, y'all know it there. Now we should go on some way attending a high-level conference. High-level policy dialogue. Eco-social, high-level segment ministerial policy dialogue. You know, it's a real vacation. She take a couple of days off. Pressure too much. She talks a good talk. When you hear her, reminds me of a cartoon I watched as a child. The Care Bears. She's like one of them. But see, beneath that veneer, watch yourself. Watch yourself. You got a lot of done stuff out here. Folks tell us you got a couple in Charleston. We coming wrong. Keisha Gustav wants justice for a 6-year-old. Before we get there, some other done stugs. Look, the lady want you go about your business now. Who are talking to tonight? Huh? That's change crapo. You know we got enemies, foreign and domestic. The lady wants you go about your business now. Well, take a 15 years to contemplate on your actions. Hope somewhere in the 15 years you have a meet Jesus moment, a come to Jesus moment. A come to Jesus. We got a lot of talks out here, you know. 15 years. He abducted his ex, assaulted. Oh, there's not one fish in the sea. There's not even one species. God damn it. Good looking young lady though. She don't want you. Go about your business. Well, you got 15 years. You got a lot of time to think. When all you have is time, somebody got time when to wake up, go to sleep, stand up, sit down, what to eat, when to get sunlight. You don't like your freedom. Hope this young lady goes on, continues to lead a productive life. Don't be held back by this jerk. Move on with your life. Write off as a bad decision. We make many in our lives. Don't let it hold you back, my sister. Push forward. Pace and power. This is how to stay. Y'all know the whole thing. Y'all know the whole story. Wicked, stink. My God. Tell me for the weekend. Look, story. This is what the folks saying. The pundits, the commentators, the experts. They ain't got no interest in feedback on oil and gas. The government is pursuing feedback on the oil spill legislation with no great alacrity. My friend Randy's favorite word. With no great speed. Them picking up the pace. What happened to the Petroleum Commission? If I'm to that beauty from these transparency and accountability people, what's happened to that? You think they're easy? We still holding to see. And so we saw today the pundits saying they're not keen on feedback concerning this oil spill legislation. Birds of identical plumage assemble together in close proximity. Talk so good talk, but walk in the walk, something totally different. Totally different. That's what we're telling you. Moving on, folks. Moving on. Rung and down. As the boys by the park you see. Rung and down. This is where we see crime going. And what we heard and saw transpired in Charleston is the epitome of this. Robeson and the others sleeping. I often ask people who come into contact with the law for whatever reason. The police is call you, is giving you updates, always comes back and says, no. We asked Keisha today, she said, no updates. She wants justice for younger Steve. She wants justice for him. I asked the fella in Bartica, son and son-in-law missing. The police has been in contact? No. Always promising to call, but they never do. Crime spiraling in this country. They found a farmer today, Thursday, murdered in North Rupununi. Charleston Ernest. You know, this thing never visited indigenous communities. Now all kinds of people pouring in through the porous borders. Them boys at time of dying was lock and chuck 24/7. Lock and chuck. Folks in the area said they saw Charleston, and then he was gone. They heard some screaming coming out of his abode. By the time they went to see what was happening, they found Charleston Ernest of Fly Hill, North Rupununi, dead. This thing wasn't so prevalent in our indigenous communities. But you see, with the advent of oil and soon gas, you're going to see myriad things. And when these things happen, it's not the end, they tell us. It's the beginning of sorrows. It's not the end at all. Not by a long shot. Look story here now. Hear this story. Think it is in this country now? Well, it is not. Police raided a Prashad Nagar home. Prashad Nagar. Yeah. I saw all by tongue. Prashad Nagar. Quantity of cocaine, unregistered fire. Some of y'all very stereotypical, you know. I can see some of y'all holding your breath with the highfalutin self. Your aristocratic self. Oh my God. Drinking your tea right now. Oh my, Prashad Nagar. I wonder where. I see some folks shocked. Put a little excerpt from our program this morning. And the imam that had his visa revoked. I can see some people fainting in the comments. Oh my God, imam. Not the imam. People involved in all kinds of unsavory activities in this country. You all don't think it's a certain category in class and caliber? Huh? It's them wearing jacket and ties, the most criminals and crooks. No offense to present company. Biggest crooks. But we are thought to think it's them boys out there. It's the small fishes. But the intellectual otters. A quantity of cocaine and an unregistered firearm seized. And a certain police had this in an intelligence-led operation. Right? Intelligence-led. Something you cut right and somebody squealed. Moving on, let's push them. They got the money. They can do what they gotta do. See a damn day in jail. Y'all know this is disparity how the law applies to poor people and rich people. Don't come around me funny. How it going? We show you how a lot of things start. We don't often show you how it's going. Like I show you now. Story. Remember that transgendered sex worker? Sean Simon lost his life. Gunned down. Is that King Street? Gunned down. Akeem Fraser has been charged with the murder of Sean Simon. And I said it then, I said now. People in trouble here. Don't interfere with them. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm thinking about the Keisha Gustav story, and I'm welling up inside. The woman's son didn't interfere with nobody. 6 years old. She didn't interfere with nobody. What are you going to interfere with people for? Why are you doing it? You know, let people live their life. The good book says, on that great and terrible day of judgment, that day when all flesh shall see him, when the trumpets shall sound, and the dead in him will rise. He and judge everybody. Let people live their life. Then trouble you. Don't trouble them. If you're not involved in this kind of business, stay away from it. As far as possible. Sirata says, live peaceably with all men. Not some, all. As far as possible. See that? As far. Y'all boy, big head. You know, you ask them run out and say something out of the way. What's it this time? Surprised me. Stringent penalties. You know this Mohammed story with the 50 million US dollars evading a tax for smuggled gold. He said, oh, we've talked about this for a very long time. This is nothing new. We're clamping down. This part of our policies being initiated. How come y'all didn't make the arrest? How come it wasn't y'all expose producing the sanctions? How come? If you're doing all this work locally, you got your eyes on all these people listening to my phone conversation. I hope you all find the scripts useful. Don't think we don't know you're listening into it. You went after the real criminals. Miss y'all won't pass y'all though. One term. Stringent penalties. Again. They talk. But they can't walk the walk. They can't walk the walk. That being said, folks, here's where I want to land. Oh, give me faith, Lord. Give me the strength. Give me the strength. Give me the strength. People know in this country, if you're political connected, and sometimes even if he is, you're gonna work for everything. People tell me all the time, hey, matter who in power, who out, I still gotta work. I feel you there. I didn't right with you. Whether you're in power or out, I gotta work. This is Keisha. Keisha has a little business in front by where she is. And like any mother who lives close by, her young son, Jeremiah, he was there with her. Like most afternoon, it's summer, school is out. And I see how my son lights up around his mother. And that's how Jeremiah was that afternoon. He lit up, as he always does. His community, his family. And that's a fateful afternoon. The 9th day of July. It was a fateful afternoon. Keisha said she heard what sounded like scripts going off. She was attending to her business in front of where she resides there in Charlestown. Drinking she water, minding she own business. You ever wake up good? Good, you wake up. And somebody got to come in your way. 9th day of July, 10 days ago, was a fateful day. The day when one phone call, one script song could change your life. What Keisha didn't know. Close by, men were firing upon each other indiscriminately, firing into the neighborhood indiscriminately. Keisha only heard screams from her son. You know, sometimes it's vexed with me, son. But it's the amount of time his mother spends with him. He calls to her now, Mommy. And then at night, he calls to her, Mommy. When he reaches out his hands in the darkness, it's her he's grabbing for. And so it was for Jeremiah. Jeremiah is screaming out, Mommy, Mommy. He's 6 years old and he's been shot. 9th day of July in Charlestown. Keisha says she sees him on the ground and he's bleeding. He's in a car going to the hospital. She realizes he's bleeding from his head and he's calling out the whole time from Charlestown to Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation. Mommy, Mommy, he's been shot in his head. And after we sat down today and spoke, we went to see him. Beautiful child, fighting for his life because crime in this country is so out of control. This is her story.
We are here with the mother of young Jeremiah Gustav.
Yeah, Gustav.
Gustav, tell us your name, and then I know it's a very difficult topic for you. We'll go back to July 9th.
Okay, my name is Keisha Gustav. I'm Jeremiah's mommy. On the 9th, I normally do chicken and chips, fish and chips outside at the gate. And I hear these things, these shots, it sound like script, but which I didn't think and take it for anything. So I constantly hearing the shots. So I saying, where this thing could be coming from? Why they lighting this thing? And I still keep hearing this thing over and over.
So you were inside at that point?
No, I was
You
outside.
were outside doing your business?
Yes. So a bypass on a motorbike, and like 5 minutes after, I turned to do something, and I hear Jeremiah hollering, "Mommy, mommy!" So when I turn now, I see Jeremiah is already in a pool of blood.
You were doing your business.
Yeah, he was sitting out there with me, waiting on something to eat.
He's with you. It's just in front of where you live here in Charlestown.
Yes.
And you're hearing these scripts going on.
Yeah.
Minding your own business.
Yeah.
And then your son calls out to you.
Mommy, mommy, mommy. When I turn, I already see Jeremiah was in a pool of blood. And a guy from the opposite side come and he gave us a drop to the hospital. So whilst we on our way going, he was still calling for mommy.
He's calling for mommy. But just before we go there, while you were selling, was anybody else there? Was just you and Jeremiah?
Me and his cousin, Jeremiah's cousin, who was sitting out there. So she eventually go with us to the hospital. So the boy come and give us a drop to the hospital. So by the time we reach there, they rush Jeremiah right into theater right away.
And this is Georgetown Public Hospital?
Yeah. So they take him into theater, but presently at this moment, he's still critical. He's not responding as yet. The guys is still on the run at this point in time. They haven't catch nobody as yet.
So this is now I guess you figure now this is gunfire you were hearing.
Yeah.
Being fired indiscriminately in this area here where you live. The two persons you refer to is someone who are wanted. Bulletin has been issued for a call, Marlon Marcus.
Yes.
Or Miceman.
Yes.
Is he known to you?
Yeah, I know him from passing.
You know him from passing in the area here. And then another gentleman, the only name given for him is Crab. They said
his right name is Odell Grant.
Odell Grant.
Yeah.
Also known as Crab. And according to reports, 4 rounds were discharged in his direction. So he wasn't close to you at this point.
No, he was on the opposite side by the baker shop.
He was on the opposite side.
Yeah.
Because from the report, we get the sense that he was apparently buying close to you or something like
sir,
that. He wasn't close to you.
No, none out of the two of them wasn't close to me. Only person at that time was on the tent was Jeremiah, myself, and his cousin. No one else was on there.
Is it surprising to you that the police have only issued a wanted bulletin for one of the two guys?
Pardon?
Is it a surprise to you? They said a wanted bulletin.
No, the wanted bulletin is out for both of them.
Oh, for both of them.
Yeah.
Has the police been in contact with you? It's 10 days now. This happened on July 9th.
If I don't reach out to them, they don't reach out to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I think that they should have reached out to me instead of I reaching out to them. So at this point in time, they haven't told no one as yet.
They haven't held anyone as yet.
No.
The other question, your son was shot. Where was he shot?
He was shot to the head.
He was shot in his head. Just want to be clear for folks.
Yeah.
And the doctors are telling you, have they removed the bullet?
Yeah, they removed the bullet already.
And have the doctors tell you anything about his condition? You said he's still serious, but in terms of the injuries?
They said that they can't tell me nothing as yet. They have to wait until he wake up and respond to see what will be his condition. But presently, nothing as yet. He's still critical.
And he has been unconscious since he was shot there?
Yeah.
And you said he was shot in his head, but yet he was calling out for you all the way to the hospital.
On the way going, he was calling out for me, mommy, mommy, right through.
Have you been getting any help? I figure it's tough. Your whole life has been turned upside down.
Yeah,
here you have. Yeah.
Right now, I cannot get to work. I can't get to do nothing because I have to spend most of my time at the hospital, up and down, back and forth.
Now it's got to be tough on you and the family.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the kind of person Jeremiah was before he was shot.
Jeremiah is a very jovial person. Whole day you call Jeremiah name. Whole day. Only time you don't call Jeremiah name is when he's sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, every 5 minutes is Jeremiah.
That sounds like my son. Yeah, so he was a live wire here in this family.
Yeah.
Here in charge, so.
Yeah, all the little children around the area like him.
And which school was he going to?
He attends Smith Memorial Primary.
And that's not too far from here, if memory serves me correct. And I'm certain he was here enjoying summer, being out in school and so on.
Plus he liked to roller skate, he liked ride bicycle, he liked go and play in the park. He liked doing a lot of things. He loved curry chicken.
So wanted bulletin, you said, has been issued for both fellas.
Yeah.
This other guy that's nicknamed Crab, is he known to you?
Yeah, he must be right around the area also.
And do you have a sense of why this indiscriminate shooting was happening that evening?
To be honest, I have no idea. I cannot say what was the incident that caused the gunshot.
And is that like a usual feature here in Charleston?
We don't have those things around here.
What would you like to see become of this matter? You said the police have not been in contact with you unless you contact them.
I would like to have justice for my son. I would like my son to recover out of this here. At this point in time, I'm really grieving for my son. Each and every day, I'm grieving for Jeremiah. Every day, I call his name. Sometimes I'd be sitting and water is just running out my eyes because I'm grieving a lot for Jeremiah. I can't. I was trying, but every day I ask God to give me the health and strength to go to visit Jeremiah. Sometimes when I stand up, I just say, well, I go outside and stand up because it's really hard for me as a mother to go through this at this point in time. I'm grieving so much for Jeremiah. I miss Jeremiah every day. Up to when I tell him, I said, Jeremiah, I miss making tea for you. Everything I miss for Jeremiah at this point in time. I really like them to catch these two boys and pin them down life imprisonment for my son.
What is visiting him like when you go to visit him? You told me you're just coming back from one of those visits that you've been making for the last 10 days.
That's the midday visit.
You go there to visit him. What is that like?
It's really hard. Just watching lying down there, talking to him, you get no response. It's really hard. I try every day to be strong on behalf of Jeremiah.
Are you satisfied with the kind of health care that he's getting?
No,
What more do you think the authorities could be doing?
I think that they should reach out to the house that these boys normally be in, where my man is live, because presently it is be hearing he's right around the area. And for know that he's right around the area, and up to now they haven't catch him as yet.
So you don't think the police is doing enough?
No,
Have they, either of the two gentlemen involved in this altercation, which your son innocent by son was shot in his head, have any one of them tried to reach out to you?
I don't want to reach out to me. I want to reach out to the police. I don't want to reach out to me. I just want to reach out to the police because I need justice for my son. I don't want to hear no sorry or anything. I just want justice for my son at this point in time.
And the question I was asking is whether you think the health care that he's getting at the hospital is sufficient. You're satisfied with all that they're doing?
To be honest, I'm satisfied, yes, because they looking after him. At least they would communicate with me and so on. But I was thinking if I could get him to fly out of the country to see if he could receive better treatment. But I don't, in his situation, I don't think that he could fly at this point in time.
Well, I'm happy to hear that the hospital is providing good care. Is that other aspect of him being flown out is something that you've talked to the doctors about?
Come again on that part.
You said you think he might get even better care if he's overseas. Is that something you spoke to the doctors at the hospital about?
I spoke to the doctor. I spoke to my mother and his father about it, but everyone is telling me that I can't fly him out right now because of his condition. So I don't know if I could get that assistance would be great for me.
Are you hopeful that he recovers fully?
He will recover by Jesus' name. He will recover.
Amen to that. And how has his father taken all of this?
His father cannot catch himself at this point in time. It's hard for the whole entire family, plus other relatives, friends, and everyone else. It's hard at this point in time. But everyone is just trying to be strong for Jeremiah.
How has your family on the whole responded to this? I can see your mom nearby. She's been in tears.
Everybody's grieving for Jeremiah. Everyone is grieving for Jeremiah.
Thank you so much for sharing this story with us. And you say you want justice, you want this guy to be caught, and you want him to face the full brunt of the law. I think that's what you're telling us.
Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing this story with us.
Thank you. Thank you for coming also.
That's some of what we saw there, some of what we heard. I want to thank the family, the Gustavs, for allowing us into the space like that, taking me to the hospital to see Jeremiah. I saw my son lying down there, you know. I saw my son in that bed. It was surreal. It was surreal. Surreal. Thank you, Georgetown Public Hospital, for all you're doing for this young lad, this lad, Jeremiah Gustav. Thanks for what you're doing there. And keep on doing it. Folks, I don't want to say anything else. I don't want to say anything else. Have a great weekend, all. Have a great weekend.